Happy Saturday. Y'all know what today is? It's Saturday. So it is the traveling phlebotomist tip of the day. Y'all know what you need to do. So let's do it. Welcome to my channel. I hope you enjoy these fabulous tips from the life of a traveling phlebotomist. Hello, everybody. Thank you again for tuning in to my channel. Today is Saturday, April 23rd, 2022. And today is a new day that we get to discuss the traveling phlebotomist traveling tips, right? So, if you have not already, go ahead and like this video and share it and subscribe. Turn on the notifications so that you know that when I'm going to put up another video. I'm going to try my best to put one up every Saturday. But, I'll be having so much fun sometimes when I be out and about. I'll be forgetting to post stuff. So, my apologies. I usually do post some, quick videos on not YouTube, on TikTok, and some things on my Instagram at VinaFlab. Same as on TikTok at VinaFlab. Right? I did get this question about, I think we got a question about pay one time. And then I got a question about my experiences when I travel to these different places. So, today I'm going to talk about my experience when I traveled to Portland, Oregon. Bling. All right. So, the first time I traveled to Portland, Oregon was in June 2020. Yes, the start of COVID. No, I'm sorry. Run it back. That was the second time. The first time I traveled to Portland, Oregon was in September 2019. I worked for an amazing location. I worked at Kaiser, but I worked at the Center for Health Research, which was amazing. And it was just like an eye-opener to like, wow, this is the stuff that goes on when they're doing research for clinical research and clinical trials. Like, I've seen the clinical trials. I've seen that they advertise for the phlebotomists in the clinics, but I have never actually seen what they do on the back end of working with the clinical trials. So it was a very humbling experience, for one, and it was a lot of fun. All the research that we did, all the meetings that we had to discuss what research we're going to do and how they do things when according to doing the trials. It was really cool. But the coolest part was being able to go out and explore, right? So now, I don't know if most of you know this, but Oregon is the sightings where Bigfoot was always sighted, right? Whoa, exactly. That was my thought. Whoa. So a lot of Bigfoot sightings were seen in Oregon, up northern Oregon. Sorry, southern Oregon. I was wrong. Southern Oregon. So when I was with my coworkers, we worked 10-hour shifts, 4 days a week. So we worked Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, well, mostly Friday and Saturday, we did a lot of exploring. So this particular day, we went to go see, we went down Southern Oregon, and we went to go to Bigfoot country. Now, we didn't know that's where we were going at first. What we were going to do was go to see Mount St Helen, the big volcano that exploded back in 1980, right? So it says the eruption of Mount St. Helen occurred on May 18th, 1980. It underwent a catastrophic and deadly eruption, triggering the largest landslide ever recorded. Earlier in the year, thousands of small earthquakes, venting steam, and a growing bulge protruded 450 feet, which is 140 meters, indicated that magma was rising in the volcano. So it caused a lot of damage for a lot of the cities that were close to it. I remember a friend of mine was telling me, because she lives in Oregon, and she was telling me how, like, for miles and miles and miles, there's a lot of soot and dust in the air. It was kind of hard to breathe. It was just nasty everywhere. So it was like just gross. But she said they actually felt it where she was in Portland. Now, where Mount St. Helen is located, it is south in Oregon, like I stated, near, so I say it was like 230 square miles of completely destroyed areas. So that covers a lot of the state. Now, 250 miles, guys, amazing. When me and my coworkers, we didn't get to go actually get close to it because it was closed off at a certain area, so we could only go into the visitation center. And the visitation center gave us a lot of the history, and it even had a few rocks from when the volcano exploded on display. So it was a pretty cool field trip. Now, this was the latter part of our field trip. And it was just so amazing to go and see about this history of this mountainous volcano that destroyed so much in its wake, in its eruption. So again, that was one of the highlights of our visit. The next place we went to is, on our way to see Mount St. Helen, we went to Bigfoot Country. Bigfoot Country is located in Damascus, Oregon. Now, in Damascus, okay, so funny, right? So they have this gigantic statue of the Bigfoot, right? So we took pictures next to it. Now, driving up to it, it doesn't look that big, but I'm only 5'2", guys. I believe my other coworker, she was about 5'4", 5'5", and my other coworker was a guy. He's about 6 feet tall. So it just looks so funny with all three of us standing next to the statue, touching it. Like, it was just so amazing. But as you can see in the intro, and I'll also show it here. As you can see, I'm very, very, very short, and I barely came to his knee. It was so cool. It was just so cool. But we got to see other attractions with that. There's the whole entire, I guess you could say, county is geared to these Bigfoot sightings. I believe they still have people go out to this day looking for Bigfoot in those woods, because it's a lot of woods. It's woods everywhere. I don't know if you've ever been to Oregon. It is literally full of trees and brush and gorgeous landscape, gorgeous sceneries. Oh my gosh. Guys, if you have never been to Oregon, if you ever get an assignment to go to Oregon, I would say take it. It's one of the most amazing trips you'll ever take. And make sure when you go there, you visit places that you're there while you're there on your contract, because it's going to be it's going to be life changing, right? And that's one thing, like, before, when I started traveling before, it never dawned on me to go to these different places and see these monuments and see these historical sites that, you see on TV. So as time progressed, and of course, as technology moved closer and closer to better viewing, I was able to take pictures, video, and capture all of the great memories that I get to see on my travels when I go out of town, right? So amazeballs, guys. We also went to Seattle. So if you guys know, Seattle is home to Pike Place Market. And in Pike Place Market is where the wonderful attraction of fish throwing is, right? But of course, due to COVID regulations, they are not allowed to throw the fish anymore. So I'm glad I got to see it when I did, because it was an amazing experience. And it wasn't nothing really big. I mean, they just the guys behind the counter at the market usually have these, you know, nice big size fish, and when someone purchases the fish, they throw it to them, and it's just an amazing scene. Like, you know, they just have fun with it, and that's what I love about it. They just have so much fun. And that's one of the great things about being in Seattle. And of course, the Space Needle. Now, your girl, mama don't do heights like that, right? I am very, very, very afraid of heights. And yes, I fly all the time. Still afraid of heights. I try my best not to go to places that just scare the heebie-jeebies out of me. I don't do it. But when my friends went in to see the Space Needle, I stood downstairs in the gift shop. It was a lot of things that I've seen, and, you know, great gifts they have available for you to purchase. And they have a lot of attractions that are downstairs instead of you getting in the Space Needle going up. I'm adventurous. So I have never been to a place that had so many food trucks. Matter of fact, I've never eaten off a food truck before I went to Oregon. That's right, guys. I've never eaten off a food truck before I went to Oregon. And Oregon has so many food truck vendors. And they also have certain locations where there are just food trucks set up in a specific area. So you go to a certain area and there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, maybe 7 food trucks in one area. So you get to choose and pick. And they have tables outside for you to sit and eat your food if it's not raining. Because, you know, it does rain up in Oregon, y'all. But it's still nice. It's great. You know, you meet different people from different walks of life. And when I say different people from different walks of life, I mean that in every sense of the word. Different people from different walks of life. You are going to have one of the most greatest experiences, because I have met some of the nicest people when I went to Portland, Oregon. Okay? I went to one of the food trucks, and I think the food truck I went to, I think they're now shut down. I posted on my Facebook years ago. His name was Mr. Cunningham, and he had a barbecue soul food truck. Yum. Yum. Just yum, guys. There is so many great chefs out in Oregon. I used to think, like, you know, getting food off food truck, like, ew, that's gross. Like, because you think of a food truck, you think of, you know, cold sandwiches and chips and pop that, you know, guys get that work at a warehouse. The guys just pull up with the food truck, sell them cold sandwiches or soggy bread sandwiches and chips and a soda. But no, these food trucks are the real deal. There are, like I said, barbecue trucks. There are Mexican food trucks. There is pho trucks, you know, pho, P-H-O. Chinese food, Mexican food. Oh my gosh. It's just like, it's so much to choose from. I haven't been to all of them, but I've seen several trucks. And it's like, when I was here, when it was COVID, a lot of trucks were shut down because, of course, COVID. So it's like, I got to get back there and I got to go see these food trucks. I got to go visit, because I know there's, oh my gosh, they have the most amazing Jamaican food. Y'all, I'm a foodie. And when I go places, I want good food, especially if I'm not cooking. Like, sometimes, you know, I always get a room. Shout out to Sonesta Suites. I always get a room at Sonesta Suites because I get a full kitchen, so I get to cook. But then one days when I don't feel like cooking, or I'm out and about hanging out with friends, I want to have some really good, scrumptious food. I mean, food that has me picking food out of my teeth good. That's how good I want my food. I'm just saying, y'all, I'm realistic, right? When I go somewhere, I want to make sure I eat good. I love food. And I like good food. And if it's good, I will continue to patronize the location. There's one specific location in Portland. It is a barbecue food truck. I cannot think of the name. Oh my gosh. It is so awesome. What is the name of this place? You guys, you ever go to Oregon? You gotta go. Oh, I remember. Matt's Barbecue. Mwah. It is the food truck is located on Mississippi Ave, Mississippi Street. I think it's Mississippi Street in Portland, Oregon. And I'm trying to get y'all the address for, like, seriously, because, like, that food is so good. But it's one of the food trucks located in Oregon, and it's, I'm trying to think, Mississippi Ave, right off the 5. See? I know it, y'all. Because their food is so good. Now, I am a brisket person. And if you make good brisket, you got me. And they have amazing brisket. Shout out to Matt's Barbecue on Mississippi Avenue in Portland, Oregon. Y'all always do me right. Okay? Boom. Let me see. So we covered the food trucks. We covered the Bigfoot country. We covered Mount St. Helen. We covered Seattle, Pikes Peak. Oh, and there's an amazing restaurant in Pikes Peak. Well, right off Pikes Peak, right off the water. And what is the name of that restaurant? Because Pikes Peak has a lot of seafood out there. Because, of course, it's fresh. It's right there on the water. And there is a restaurant. There is a seafood restaurant right on the water. Jack's Fish Spots? I think. Jack's Seafood? Something like that. It's so amazingly good, guys. It's so amazingly good. Of course, it was fresh out the water, like fresh seafood. So, again, I'm a foodie. I pay attention. Okay, so now another thing that, you guys will be looking out for. So, if you have never read the news or listened to the news, just know that Oregon and Washington have a very high homeless population rate. It was it was a culture shock to me to drive up the 5, seeing all of these tents on the side of the highway. You guys, it was like, what's going on? Like, are we doing a outside camping trip? No. The homeless population is deep, and it gets really deep in downtown Oregon, downtown Portland. You will see a lot of homeless people with tents posted up either under the viaducts, under the bridges, on the side by the walls, on the side of the highways, in between the city streets. There are some neighborhoods where, they pretty much petition not to be able to have the homeless be out in the streets in their neighborhoods. But some places, where are they supposed to go? Like, really? The hospital I worked at, they were at this park across the street. And, like, they were all lined up on the side across the street from the park, because they couldn't be in the park, but they could be on the other side of the park along the sidewalk in their tents. I saw, like, a lot of porta potties on the side. I guess the city put up porta potties for them, especially during, like, the COVID times, so they at least have a bathroom to go to, I guess. I don't know. I'm just guessing, because that's what it seemed. We'll be real smart. So, of course, watch out for that. And again, like I said before, regardless of where you go, it's somewhere different. It's somewhere that you've never been before. It's not your home. So you always want to make sure that you are safe at all times. Watch your back, look at your surroundings. Make sure that you know where you're going, and you make sure you notice other people around you. You don't want to be sidetracked. You don't want to be surprised, right? And they don't all bother you. They don't, because they don't bother me. And again, like I said, I don't go outside at night by myself. I don't do that. Because, one, I love myself too much, and I'm very protective of myself. And my husband doesn't play that. So I don't really go outside after a certain amount of time once it gets dark. Because, again, I am a single woman and I'm traveling. It's all about being smart and being safe, no matter where you are. And to be honest with you, even when you're at home, you still have to have that same mentality, watching your surroundings, being safe, paying attention to who is around you, and paying attention to who is in your circle. It's all about being safe. So, guys, this has been an amazing time with you guys. And if you have any other questions or concerns, make sure you leave me a comment. Make sure you email me. Follow me on TikTok and on Instagram. Guys, okay? So I hope that you had a good time. I hope I gave you some great information about Portland, Oregon. And I hope you get to visit, or you get to go on one of the assignments so that you can see all the great sites too. You guys have a marvelous rest of your evening.